Welcome to part 3 of building the Ollie's Camaro good by taking all the good stuff from the Monogram 24 scale kit and making it fit the Revell 25th scale kit. In the first installment, the chassis was modified for the wheels and tires. And the second installment, the twin turbo setup was mocked up along with some side exhaust. This time we dive into the interior and I show a trick of how to get these kits together much easier and add some grille detail. Let's get to it. Okay, moving on to the interior bucket, as we call this. Basically got the door cards, door panels. Where did door cards come from? I think that's like maybe a European thing. I don't know. But we'll just call them those pieces that go on the sides. And as I said, I was going to use the seats from the 24 scale car because they're kind of neat. Maybe late 70s style Recaros. They're a little thin back here, and they have numbers and a giant pin mark that I zipped all that out. And fortunately, they mostly fit. They're tight. And basically, I had to do a little zipping around on the edges so they'll fit tighter up against the tunnel. And then we have, what's nice about the 25th scale kit is it has a separate console. It goes somewhere right around there. Of course, the dashboard. We'll wait to do steering things and bits and pieces. And I will say that this mold is really getting long in the tooth. I mean, there was all kind of pits and tooling marks and all I got on top of that dashboard, zipped all that off, smoothed it out. This tooling is tired. The other part that is from the 24 scale kit is this roll bar. And it is chrome, which is super cool. And that's a feature of this car is the chrome roll bar. But, you know, problem is ugly pin marks. They're all over, and mold lines and flash and all that kind of stuff. But what I did is, let's get all that crap out of the way, is I drilled holes for this to locate. So it's going to go about there. And then this is why you want to test fit everything. Because you want to make sure all this stuff is going to fit before you get paint and start gluing stuff together. Don't make any assumptions that everything fits, you know? So this is going to that's going to be kind of tight to get those in there. Because it binds up a little bit right there by the armrest. And so it's good to know these things. And the 24 scale kit has an optional rear seat, which is cool that this car does as well, because I'm not going to put the back seat in it. It does have these pieces, the uprights, that go somewhere, you know, here to help it do roll bar things. And I've already sanded all the mold lines and, you know, those kind of things, pin marks, because that had those too. And for this to get glued together real nice, yeah, this chrome's got to go. Probably get re-chromed with some Revell chrome paint. And like some of this other stuff, it's just what it's got to be. So I think I'm going to sand this out some more. And this is what I use. You guys know about this thing. It's the Flex file. And as I drop it on the floor. And so, yeah, I'll pick it up off the floor and zip this out. And then this stuff, I'm almost close to getting ready to paint this thing. That's cool. So, get this stuff out of here. Okay, here's the interior. And I've got those seats mocked in there. That roll bar mounted loosely. Got a little bit of area so we can move stuff around. And this is think that this is going to work. And I don't see, it still needs a little bit more clearance and clearance. But that's okay. I'm gonna set that down. I actually slide it out. I'm gonna show you this. Here's the body, and I've done some work on it by eliminating the mold lines and emblems, door handles. This is like one of the more recent toolings, and this thing's kind of rough. It's got flash, you gotta look for it. It's got flash all up in here, and then it was even talked about, this is a little messed up right in here. And I just don't really care to fix it. It just doesn't, for this project, it's gonna be just fine. But the thing when I build these, I kind of do something about these. Those that have built them know it can be a little cantankerous, putting the chassis and everything together. And so I've built these things before, and I have a little secret. I cut the front valance off from there. And I use the body line on the side, and then I cut right up underneath the bumper, or where the bumper will go, and that will hide that gap. And then this allows me to put the, ooh, look at that, that's fun, there's some scribing, to put the rear pan on, get this nice and glued in and smooth, and I can get these gaps, because there's, I believe there's like a little faint panel line on the real car where the valance goes. And I can clean all this up, fix that. That's gonna fit. This is gonna fit. And then that basically allows the chassis, it will go together a whole lot easier by doing it this way. And then I can have access here to get the core support in, weaseling it in that way. And because that's another thing, is if you have the valance as it's molded, when you wedge that in with the radiator support, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna knock that out and possibly knock your engine out as well. So that's one of the tricks. And just to prove my point, here's this. I'll be able to easily get that in where that needs to go, because I'll have access to all this up underneath here, whereas before you have this valance covering it all up. And then in final assembly, I can put that on and it'll fit right. So that's a little trick from Tim Custom on 69 Camaro assemblies. So I have started the thinning of the grillage. This is a trick most people that have built this kit, or a lot of them have done, by sanding. It's not really sanding, it's removing material from this side so you can see through it. And so I haven't done this side, and I have a technique for this. I'll show you. So we're a little bit zoomed more in on the workbench, and let's see, this is what that looks like. I don't use this. Don't use this. That's bad. You will melt it. I don't really like using this because these will break it, but you can use these towards the end. So the trick to this is simply this. And you don't use it like this. You don't jab it. What you do is you shave it. Like that. And it's amazing that when you start doing it, how quickly you can do it. So here we go. So what you want to do is hold it up to the light, which is kind of hard to show on the camera, especially when it won't focus. That to see, check your progress, and I don't know, save all of this. Maybe it could be snow. I don't know. It'll wind up going to the burn pile. All of this, yeah, that doesn't really help it. Well, here we go. We're gonna keep on going. So about 3 hours, no, really about only 10 minutes, and look like I've been up to no good here with this grill. I've been still working like this, and you see, it's getting close. A little concerned about right here in the middle, because it's kind of inconsistent, and that's sort of the hard part to do. So I'm going to kind of go a little bit more careful here, and I think it's about time to switch to the black stick. And I like the coarse side, and it's that number. Yeah, you can't read that out, but it's probably 120, 180. You can feel it. Of course you can't on the video, but just trust me. And then we just kind of keep doing this. Watch your project. Hold it up to the light, not the camera, to see if it's getting thin. And you can kind of see, I think it's starting to get a little thin. You can, probably not. What am I doing? All right, we are moving right along. As you can see, these areas here are now, I mean, you just barely touch it with the X-Acto, and they're coming out. And that's what it looks like. And again, folks, when you get to this part, you got to go real careful, because you don't want to break it. It's, I wouldn't say it's like real fragile. You don't want to throw it at the wall, so don't do that. And then once I kind of start poking all these things out, and that one comes out real nice, so does that one. You'll be able to gauge progress more, so that's good. These still need a little bit more from here to here, so we're going to keep going. So here we have almost all of the holes open, and I just finished like poking them out, and it's just more sanding. Just keep on sanding until it's good, and go slow and easy, and you won't break it. It's just about all opened up. Got a couple of little dingleberries in there, but this is what I like. Got one of these little brushes here, and if you kind of just soft, we just rub that in there. Let the brush do the work, and I think we start getting all those little pieces out of there. You want to keep as much material as you possibly can, because that's what's going to make it strong. Let's see, we got one difficult piece right in there. Where are you connected to?
And this looks like a good stopping point. Next time, we break out the paint, and I show you how that went, then dive into the decals. So be sure to like, comment, subscribe, you know what to do, because I have all kinds of model car stories to tell. Thanks for watching.